Hey you, yes you, have you seen the news? Spike Factory Paragon has been announced! Also yes, we're going to do the 2TC achievement today with the Lord of the Abyss and the Perma-Spike, one of the 3 attributes towards the new Spike Factory Paragon called the Massive Mega Munitions Factory. Yes, I know Mega comes first, okay? I put the Mermonkey in this spot over here rather than in the waters where the Mermonkey prefers, because I would like for you to be in the range of our Perma-Spike so that when you do get to your Abyss Dweller, Abyssal Warrior, and eventually the Lord of the Abyss, you're going to be able to pierce increase the Perma-Spike. And I think that is what we call a good strategy around these parts. If you can pierce buff something, then bloody well do so, my mans. Sorry, my inner British came out there. You what? So what do you all think about from the announcement by Ninja Kiwi regarding the Mega Massive Munitions Factory? Firstly, what a long name for a Paragon. Probably the longest name that we've had yet. Although Crucible of Steel and Flame is still very long as a name. I wonder how much longer the names are going to get as Paragons are announced. Also, it came rather under the radar because Ninja Kiwi usually teases which Paragon is going to be released next a few updates beforehand, but this one I think is the first time where it's under the radar, or perhaps the hints that it was going to be the Spike Factory were more subtle. Also, Adora is the first hero within Bloons Tower Defense 6 that's going to get a 4th skin, one behind a prestige pack of some kinds. I know, more monetary sort of stuff, but Ninja Kiwi's got to be able to put bread on the table in some ways. I do get it, but at other times, I'm also a player of the game. Just because I'm a content creator does not mean that my opinion is any different from your own opinion. Also, closest there, I couldn't really have it so that you were a bit further along this way, because then the Mermonkey would be less effective when it comes to popping the balloons, but we gotta be careful as to like our spike piles. We do need to pop all of the leads, but at the same time, we really need ourselves to have some spike piles at the end of the map here, because this is a one-trick pony. If we do go down, we go down with the rest of the ship. And that means we have to restart all over again. There's no restart button, okay? For this run, we have to restart from the beginning, because of this and the unique mechanics of what this does. Okay, I'm going to put you on normal, actually, so that you have the hope of popping some of these. Okay, that's good, that's good. Could have therefore with a red one going on here, or even just a lead balloon, honestly, because that goes at the speed of a red balloon. Now, the question is, do I upgrade? Yeah, we'll go to a 201 Mermonkey. Perhaps we would need the Echosense network if we're not able to reach over here with the Abyss Dweller, etc. once the time comes. Okay, I need you on normal again. Close is not close enough. I did deliberately put close over here rather than down there, just so that we can actually place you in a spot where the balloons cannot attack there. Moabs can, but not the... Oh, speaking of Moabs, the test Moab is coming, but something tells me that's an April Fool's thing. Should I go Deadly Spikes or Abyss Dweller? No, we'll go Deadly Spikes. Also, the new map doesn't look like a beginner map, if you ask me. Each of the 5 tracks looks relatively short, and it's reminiscent towards a certain extreme difficulty map from Bloons Tower Defense 5. You remember the Tartar Pits, and yeah, fun times. As much as I'd like to have our Spike Factory at a very, very high level, we're gonna need to do some monetary upgrades to our Mermonkey so that this thing can support that thing. Both pierce and also just soaking up some of these pops, because this thing is not going to be able to hold off all of the balloons forever. And I do mean it. I think honestly we'll get Lord of the Abyss first before we get the Perma-Spike. Yeah, here's Abyss Dweller. The tentacles are going to be a big help, actually, because of the fact that it's another means of attack, and they can insta-kill ceramics. Or at the very least, early stage ceramics. Unless we need Abyssal Warrior to be able to insta-kill ceramics. But you get what I mean. I do hate myself a lead balloon. I wish the tentacles could actually hit lead balloons, for goodness sakes. Let's see, can I take you all down, please? Lovely. Just the lead balloons, but we should be able to soak these up. Here's Abyssal Warrior, even more powerful, able to slow down balloons and also slow down low-level Moabs as well. I think BFBs is the biggest that it can slow down. Can't slow down ZMGs, can't target DDTs, sorry. Well, it can target them, but it just can't damage them. The Spike Factory is an odd creature, because it does quite well in 2-tower chimp scenarios, but when it comes to 2 megapop scenarios, now that is a completely different story. You need to strategize your run a bit more than most other towers in that scenario, because of the fact that, well, the middle path has been nerfed where it doesn't fire as fast and it's less potent and is more expensive. The bottom cross path is severely reliant on you not cocking up the round, essentially trying to play a black border run, otherwise all of your spikes are going to disappear, which is a hell load of fun if you ask me. And the top cross path isn't that powerful unless you give it a huge number of boosts if you slow down the balloons, like all you would normally do in a 2 megapops run. But with the top cross path, well, you can't afford super mines, so that's a thing. Although there has been a super mines 2 megapops run, which is heavily reliant on cash regrow bug, where you have to produce more regrow balloons on purpose, enable them to get back to the top tier. So let's say enable them to all go back to a red balloon, but sorry, a rainbow balloon, but in higher numbers of rainbow balloons, and then be able to pop them all from there. Like that is a bug, and I think it's been in the game ever since its debut, since its launch. But believe it or not, that run required Striker Jones for the additional pierce on top of the additional pierce you would get by pursuing the bottom cross path. Like, spiked mines is, it can tear up a lot of balloons if you go with the bottom cross path of it. It's just that the higher fire rate cross path is always more desirable. And I don't blame people, but it just has a lot of niche uses if you're able to, like, change where it goes and also have that little bit of an additional fire rate at the start of a round. I can't believe it took me far too long to realize that the Smart Spikes upgrade actually triggers the Lich so that then it's able to recover HP, because hey, guess what? Additional attack speed, even though it's an innate upgrade to a tower and not like, well, then again, it is temporary rather than permanent. Like Jungle Drums, that's permanent even though it's temporary because you can just sell a village at any time. But you get what I mean. It's something that you can't really remove from the tower unless you sell it or something that's around it. Round 59, we do have Lord of the Abyss, which I still think is the best Mermonkey for a 2-tower chimp scenario. It's both incredibly powerful against the smaller balloons, and it also provides your other tower with a 40% pierce buff, which is what you would call a very good amount of pierce increase. It just really struggles against like ZOMGs and especially non-existent against DDTs, and you can forget about the bad. I mean it enables this to be better against the bad because of the PS increase. 63 just insta-kill the ceramics. Although these lead balloons are a problem. Put you on normal so that hopefully you have the chance of popping some lead balloons, making our time for the Lord of the Abyss. It's just wiggling its tridents and tentacles around, and then it cannot hit them. This thing has a weakness against leads. It's almost like if it's a fairy type and it's trying to go up against a steel type. No good. Or it could even be poison fairy. Or it could be poison, it could be dark, or it could be fairy. it's definitely one of the three types if it was a Pokemon. This would just be a steel type. Oh yes, fairy and steel. If you know Pokemon, they're like two of the most broken types in the game. Think of like Zacian and Tinkaton. Although Gigaton Hammer is kept in line by Tinkaton's not very high attack rate. So imagine giving it like huge power or pure power as an ability. Yeah, that thing's just off the rails. Sorry for going off tangent there, but I was just thinking like you could fit any tower into a type that is in Pokemon. 69, everybody's favorite nice round of the entire run. Just present fortified lead, which is not good. Although I do like the fact there's lead left. Give us a few more seconds to put some more piles down. Piles of spikes, what were you thinking of? Comparing 2 TCs to 2 MPs, obviously the runs are very different, but I think in a 2 TC, the cross-pathing of your towers is even more important than in a 2 Megapulse run, because you're kind of not as restricted, because obviously you can give your tower camo detection and normal damage type with MIB. So this thing has the flexibility of either going 5-2-0 to give it more PS and be able to freeze balloons, or you can just give it Echo Sense Network and be able to put down like 9 other Mermonkeys. Did you know that upon release this thing only stacked 5 times? Also, Perma-Spikes is now active. The only downside is you attack oh so slowly. Right, I'm gonna need you all to do me a very, very important task, okay? DIE 75, going down very well here. Lots of BFBs, but we can take them all out, and this... It wasn't even a question as to whether or not round 76 would be doable or not. Of course it's doable. We have 2 fantastic towers against all of those ceramics. As far as I remember, so far, the top half Mermonkey has not received a single nerf, whereas the middle cross path or the bottom cross path, whichever way you pursue, they both have been received nerfs. In some way, shape or form, like the symphonic resonance is more expensive, and frigid. That's the biggest nerf you could possibly give a tower. But then again, it can still hit DDT, so I suppose after the purple balloons have gone away, it's not as bad as, let's say, energy. But when the Mermonkeys initially came out, the ability for Arctic Knight and Pop Siren was shatter, so the only thing it couldn't pop was DDTs, and its normal tank was Plasma, which means it couldn't pop purple balloons, so it had something for everything. But now it feels like it doesn't have anything for anything, which is not true, obviously. Let's make the round just a tad bit quicker. Let's see how much of an effect this comes. Oh my goodness sakes, it does. It does come into play quite a lot there. It only took a few Perma-Spike powers to be able to help out with that ZOMG. Another thing about the new map coming in Update 48 is you notice there are 5 sets of spike piles on the track, which means that there are 5 entry points and 5 exit points. Which is, it makes each circle, you know, very short. It reminds you of a certain map back in the day, which we've already discussed about. An extreme difficulty map. I wonder if it becomes extreme when you go to the later runs. Like it's a map that starts off incredibly easy, but then it becomes so stupid later on where it's like, you're going to need someone like Chom Chom to be able to beat the Chimps mode of it. Because there's no way in hell I'd be able to beat it. Like, I struggle with a lot of advanced maps and every expert map. Like, I've not been able to do, like, Inferno or Dark Castle, or I struggled with Geared, even though I did do a gold border on it, but I really struggled when I did a video on Geared. I'm not talking about the Lich boss event, I'm talking about just trying to do a Chimps run in general. Did not enjoy it whatsoever. I get that those expert players were once upon a time players who weren't able to do them, but it's the stance that some people have when it comes to their skill sets at a game that can set them apart between like being humble about their skill sets and just being outright horrible about it. 4 0MGs. So I'm going to put these over here for just a little bit, and hopefully they help when it comes to whittling down the 0MG layer, doing a little bit of work, which is very good. Put you back on smart. It won't make the round too long, but it makes it long enough where we can still benefit from all of the spike piles that we put over here. Obviously, you won't do anything on round 90. The only thing that you can damage is the ceramics on the inside of the DDTs, and obviously everything past the point when the lead layer is damaged. Still, UMGs. Turtles with top hats. Have you ever seen anything like this before? Outside of Balloons Tower Defense 6? Right, around 90. Let's put you on close for just a little bit and hope. The DT's hair detection's too small for that to be a thing? How dare ye? Let's see. The spike pile somehow managed to survive that ordeal. Let's be on close again. Yeah, the balloons are too small, but the BFB should be able to hit these. Right? It should do. Yeah, it's going through all that. But even with the 40% PS increase, it still does eventually get outmaneuvered. Not outmaneuvered, but its PS cap has been met, I mean. More ZOMGs. Oh dear, dear, dear. But they are being annihilated. Let me know what you think about the video down in the comment sections below. Also, let me know what other 2TC scenarios you'd like to see me do next, especially like when a new update comes out. Obviously, towers get changed in certain ways. Maybe they're given a new feature, perhaps they've been buffed, perhaps they've been nerfed. But in every single update, there's always like a new combination. And I reckon at some point, it's going to get to a point in the game where so many combinations have been discovered that there's no such thing as a new 2TC combination. Unless, of course, some drastic changes happen to a tower in which they are then able to be possible to have a 2TC with another tower of some kind, or just be able to get 2TC in general. So, for example, if you ever heard of the tower called the biggest one, now it's the tier 5 top path mortar that is incredibly powerful, but it doesn't have either camo detection or the means of popping black balloons, which means that, as you can tell, these DDTs are going to be a bit troublesome when it comes to the biggest one's ability to be able to contribute towards a 2TC run. The only possible tower in which you can do it with is Sorda. If, let's say, the biggest one able to retain its normal damage type when the Ultra Boost received a buff towards its ability duration time, then it could have been possible to do a 2TC with the biggest one and the Ultra Boost. Like, when the Ultra Boost was updated so that its ability ran for a longer duration, that was also when the big one's damage type was also nerfed from normal to explosive. But the biggest one was not mentioned. But the biggest one was also changed. Ninja Kiwi sometimes hides these little details, which can sometimes be really nitpicky. I know this is quite nitpicky, but it can be quite annoying when you're trying to pursue something and it doesn't really work out because of a change that happened to a tower in which wasn't enlisted. I could go on. Okay, I need these ZMGs to go down at some point, and I think I put this over here just a little bit too late. Yeah, maybe I need to put you on normal, but again, I just feel like I've left this a little bit too late, and I needed to put you on close sooner. But let me put you back on smart, since there are a fair few spire piles over here. It's just that the Lord of the Abyss needs to do a lot of work, and obviously we have round 98 coming up, which is going to do a lot of damage with anyways. But round 98 should honestly be just a tad bit easier for the Perma-Spike because the Lord of the Abyss is up against weaker balloons. But still, this is a bit of a challenge for us, and if we don't succeed in this, then obviously we're going to have to restart the entire run, which is not on my cards of wanting to do, but I think we should be able to prosper in this, and we definitely do so. That was much better than I thought it was going to be. Okay, round 99 is going to be easy because the Perma-Spike is able to eat up all of these fortified DETs just like that. I thought for some odd reason the numbers were starting to diminish. Okay, let's put you on close. Let's have it so that the bad is initially as damaged as it possibly can be when it goes around this box 3 times. That's the first time. Here comes the second time. So its fins are bandaged, and now it's gone. And now it's just gone from existence. I feel like, okay, so the fins are bandaged, that's good. The tail's bandaged. Oh, the tail was bandaged and now the entire whale is gone. So that's just fantastic. Okay, put you back on smart. So this is definitely the run sorted, and this was a deathless 2TC, I know. No yellow balloon deaths. Where the hell is Flare Balloons, and what did you do to him? Oh dear, because Flare Balloons always dies to yellow balloons. So what is this monstrosity of a run? But this is a deathless run. And as long as you do the build in which I did here, then this is a pretty easy 2TC to pull off on Resort. I imagine logs can be just as easier as well. I'm not too sure about Scrapyard because of the lack of Mermonkey coverage on that map. But anyways, everybody, thank you all so much for watching. Let me know what you thought of the video down in the comment sections below. Let me know what you think about the mega massive munitions factory and what it can do. It sort of has like a Spirit of the Forest-esque vibes to it. Obviously, it's going to be much more powerful than the Spirit of the Forest because it's a Paragon, but it's covering the entire track with those purpley black spikes. Thank you all so much for watching, everybody. Please be sure to use my creator support code whenever you are in the store. That would be thoroughly appreciated. Thank you all so much for watching, and take care of yourselves, everybody.